Self-talk. Self-talk is fantastic. And when you're talking to yourself and when you're talking to your brain and you're telling yourself, I am going to make it, I'm going to do that, I'm going to get to that destination, I'm going to do the things that I can do, I'm going to do the things that are going to fulfill me and it's going to bring my creativity. That's fantastic. That self-talk is great. But that self-talk is not enough. It needs to be partnered with self-thinking. So your self-talk of having faith that I'm going to get there is fantastic. It's great. It's 1/3 of the way there. But then we have to back it with self-thinking because the subconscious mind is too smart. If you're saying, I'm going to climb Mount Everest next year, okay? I'm going to climb Mount Everest next year. Let's assume that's my ecstatic desire, all right? That's what I'm saying to myself every single day. It's not just going to happen unless I start thinking about it. So my brain now is starting to think about my self-talk. So my self-talk is saying, I'm going to climb Mount Everest next year. My thinking now is saying, hey, you are going to climb Mount Everest next year. You're going to climb it. You're going to get to the top next year. So now my self-talk and my self-thinking are aligned. That's 2/3 of the way there. The third element is self-action. So the self-action now. So my self-talk, I'm going to climb Mount Everest. That's my burning desire, as an example. My self-thinking, yes, we're going to get there. We're going to do it together. We're going to do whatever needs to happen to get there. We'll learn, we'll grow, we'll fall, we'll fail, all that stuff. That now needs to be backed by self-action. So in other words, we need to act. Those actions that we need to list the things that we need to act on them no matter what. And when you get self-talk and self-interest, so self-thinking and self-action, when you get those three aligned together, there is nothing. And I say this right now, there is nothing that will stop you from getting to that destination. Because the reason why people never reach their destination, the reason why they read thousands of books and do thousands of courses and join and follow so many great master motivators and teachers, because the self-talk and the self-thinking don't align, and the self-action definitely doesn't align. And those three don't align. So in other words, you're saying that I'm going to climb Mount Everest, but then your thoughts are saying, well, you know what, you don't really think you can climb Mount Everest. Only 8 people in the world have ever climbed Mount Everest. So your brain's saying that, as your self-talk saying that, you're never going to make it. And your actions, self-actions, in other words, the things that you need to do daily, what's stopping you from acting is because there's conflict between your self-talk and your self-thoughts or your self-thinking. They're in conflict because usually your self-thinking is basically saying, I don't think you're going to make it. And what that does, it creates doubt. And when you get the doubt, you get the fear. And when you get the fear, you start to talk to yourself and you start to say, well, I'm probably not going to make it and probably not going to be able to get there. And, why am I wasting my time? And all of a sudden, you're scrolling on social media, you're drinking whiskey, you're gossiping with your friends, you're back to where you were. And that is the worst thing that you can do to yourself, because the one thing that every single day you lose is time. And that's the time that you can use to be your best self. Because what you owe yourself is to deliver the best version of you. And the only one that can do that, the only person in the world that can do that, and governments can't do it, and not even your family can do it. The only person that can do it is you and how you talk to yourself. Because you're going to have people around you, you can have media, you can have people around you that are going to create doubt. And you have to be aware of it. And sometimes that doubt creeps into your head, you don't even notice. It just somehow creeps in. And the moment that doubt, just like a little cancer, creeps into your head, it starts the indecisions, it starts the procrastination, it starts the fear. and it kills the essence of you, and it kills the person that you were meant to be. Don't let that happen. And don't let anybody tell you that you can't, or don't let anyone tell you it's impossible. It's impossible for them, but it's not impossible for you.